Hello, everyone, and welcome to a YouTube exclusive for the Podcast Wrestling Society. I am, as always, your loving leader, benevolent host, and Midwest monster, Troy Adams. And with me today, he is the Charlie Haas to my Shelton Benjamin. Say hi to Kyle. What is up, Kyle?
What is going on?
Well, you and I, sir, attended a show I never thought in a million years I'd say in the year 2018. I, Troy Adams, will be attending Starrcade. But we did it, man.
WWE Starrcade at that.
And in Cincinnati, Ohio. All of this is weird. Starrcade in 2018, Starrcade under the WWE banner, and Starrcade in Cincinnati. What is going on?
I think I saw somebody say on Twitter somewhere in a parallel universe WCW is doing a WrestleMania house show.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, I guess this was we're doing a rundown of this. Normally, if it was just any other house show, we wouldn't care. But not everybody knows what went down on Starrcade. So, I mean, there's the network special, but it was only an hour, and you and I were there for, it was an over 3-hour show. Granted, there was an intermission, but still.
Yeah, it started at 7:30, and you said they had like a 10-15 minute intermission, but the show really didn't end until just past 11 o'clock. So yeah,
it was a good time. As far as, it was a good length show. As far as matches and match quality, it was what it was. There wasn't anything hugely spectacular, but there was nothing bad, I would say, on the show. All in all, I thought it was good. But yeah, let's just kind of dive into it here for all of you out there who were not able to attend the show, and even some of you that were. Definitely leave your comments down below, and of course, thumbs up this video, like and subscribe, all that good stuff, and tick the little bell down below, because that, dudes and dudettes, bros and broettes, will keep you notified every time there is more content posted here on the Podcast Wrestling Society's YouTube page. And the more you subscribe, the closer we get to a custom URL, so I can quit posting that tiny URL crap. Just help us out, bros and broettes. But diving right into it here, before the actual show started, they did something they have never, ever done at a WWE event that I've attended. Now, I've never been to a house show. You have, so maybe they did this when you went. But they've never done it for me when I've attended Raw, SmackDown, Mania, TakeOver, whatever, SummerSlam. They opened up with the national anthem. That was cool.
Oh, yeah.
Nice. Did they do that at the house show you went to?
I don't remember if they did or not, actually. But
I would assume not. I don't think that's a thing. I think they only did that because this is Starrcade, and I think they did that. I don't remember. But yeah. So they tried to make it feel like a big deal, and they started with the the playing of the national anthem. That was cool. Everybody stood. Yeah, that was awesome. I didn't expect that. Turns out, what's the guy's name? Mike Rowe or whatever the hell. That's the ring announcer.
Greg Hamilton.
Greg Hamilton. Who's Mike Rowe? Is that the 205 guy?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay. Anyway, Greg Hamilton. I don't know his damn name. He's a good announcer. He's got a good voice, but he's from Cincinnati. I did not know that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So he came out and said it was good to be home and all that bullcrap. And some hot chick in a pink dress was hawking stuff throughout the show.
Kayla Braxton.
Yeah, her. I could never remember her name.
Actually, I walked right past you.
Yeah, and I didn't see her until she was passing. I was like, oh damn. But it was cool. For those of you, we had really good seats, about ring level. In the first tier there, they weren't floor seats, which I don't like floor seats, so I appreciate that. I'm a short guy. You're not much taller, so trying to see over people and their stupid signs is not a good time.
Yeah, and luckily there was no extremely tall people sitting in front of us, so we all had a good view.
Right. There was one kid in front of us that kept trying to get a chant, like random chant started all night at inappropriate times. Never caught on.
Yeah.
But, every single show I've been to, there have been kids that, try to get themselves over by doing that stuff. It's just a kid thing. So, whatever. But the first thing on the actual show was we open up with Elias. And he introduces the Nature Boy. So that was cool. One of my friends/coworkers was telling me he was like, Ric Flair was totally drunk, right? I'm like, I don't think so. He was like, because he was there. And he's like, I think he was drunk. I'm like, I don't think he was. I think that's just Ric Flair being Ric Flair. So
yeah, he got to the ring okay. He didn't seem to be stumbling or anything. So
yeah, I will say his hair looks awful. It looks like just like pasted down and long and stringy. And I don't know. His hair is not very Nature Boy-esque. He needs more body to it. And I realize he's old and he's losing some of his hair and it's thinning, but oy. But they were doing a song. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Remember last year, in all honesty, he probably should have died. Like, it is a miracle he is still alive.
Yeah, I know. It's awesome. And from what he was saying, he's laid off alcohol a lot because he had an issue. Go figure. Every story he's ever told or anybody's ever told about him begins with, oh, Rick was half in the bag,
Yeah.
But, it's the Nature Boy, I guess. But either way, they play a song. This was all on the network, so I'll just recap this real quickly. And partway through the song, Nia Jax's music hits, and the just place blows up with booze. And she comes out with her motley crew of Alicia Fox, Tamina, and Mickie James. For, whatever. I guess this was the right time to interrupt, I guess. I guess their thing is it'll get her more booze because she's interrupting Ric Flair and Elias. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, it worked. She gets booed anyway, but, this is even
Yeah, really,
more.
all she had to do was show up and people will boo her. I mean, it's just...
Right. Well, she was, they were going to sing along with Elias and Rick, and Nia starts screeching into the mic instead of singing. And then she said, when Elias, insulted her, she said she turned down an opportunity to be on The Voice, I believe, to join the WWE, for whatever that's worth. And he insulted her some more. They looked like they were going to get physical, but they said, well, we can't. He said, we can't. Say what?
I think Alicia Fox tried to do the same thing, actually, tried to sing along with him. And I'm sitting here just kind of laughing because you got Mickie James in there who really is a singer on the side.
Right. Yeah, she actually has an album out. She's not bad. She's a country singer.
No.
She released that album in TNA, I believe, or right after her TNA stint. She sang her own theme song in TNA.
Mm-hmm.
But either way, I like how when she came back to WWE and she has an album out and everything, she totally dropped the gimmick she had in TNA, which the gimmick was her, country girl / country singer. She comes back to TNA or to WWE. Nope, all that's dropped. Forget it. Nobody cares. But
yeah, that'd been nice. She could have got that. But
yeah. But anyway, they say, well, we can't kick you out of the ring, whatever, or beat you up, whatever, but we know somebody who can, or some people who can, whatever. They bring out the other motley crew of Sasha Banks, Ember Moon, and Bailey. And am I forgetting? And Dana Brooke. That's right. That's why I forgot who it was, because nobody cares. And Dana Brooke tried doing the Ric Flair strut right in front of him, and I was like, ugh, God. Like, you're not over. Nobody cares. Go home. I mean, she's nice to look at, but it just hurt. I don't know. And I guess she's getting better, but I can't really tell because she was only in the ring for like a minute and didn't screw anything up. So I guess that's something.
Yeah, I think she has gotten better. So
yeah. End of the match. Alicia Fox taps out to the bank statement. there was that. Next match, we get Finn Balor comes out to a huge pop. He was not wearing his rainbow bright attire this time. He was just wearing his all black and white. And then Dolph Ziggler's theme hits, and I thought, wow, Dolph is here too. I thought it was just going to be Drew by himself, but nope. He comes out and introduces Drew, and they had one of the best matches of the night, I believe. Dolph got involved, I think, one time, but it helped Drew. Finn missed the coup de grace at one point. The match was a little sloppy, but it wasn't, I mean, it was okay. That's what these house shows are for, so that, before they go on TV, they can have a couple matches in front of a live crowd,
Mm-hmm.
kind of work out the bugs. But Drew won with a Claymore, so there was that. Then after that, we got a match we were not expecting because the Revival's theme hit. And I thought, oh crap, the Revival's here. That's awesome. And you and I were both kind of shocked.
Yeah. They weren't advertised at all. I mean, it said like at the bottom of the advertisement and many more, so I guess that's where they fall in. But
yeah, they were the many more. But then they took on the B team, who ended up freaking beating them.
Mm-hmm.
Don't get me wrong, I like the B team, but what the F is going on with the Revival right now? The biggest pop of the match was when Curtis Axel was doing his version of the floss dance. So there was that. But next we get a tag team title match, players. It's The New Day versus The Bar. The New Day had brought with them a inflatable box of Bootios that blew up next to the stage. That was cool. They came out whipping pancakes all over the damn place.
None thrown our way, unfortunately. But
No, they were all like to the left and the right of where Hardcam would be. But yeah, they had these guys also had a pretty good match. The Bar won, not shockingly. I believe Sheamus kicked, I want to say, Big E and got the win.
Yeah.
Yeah. Best spot of the match was when Kofi did a weird dance and was just vibrating and dropped to the mat, and his half shirt came off, and he just whipped it in the crowd.
The thing that surprised me here, the Big Show wasn't with the Bar.
Yeah, right.
This is Starrcade. Big Show, he's been a part of Starrcade before. So
yeah, the actual Starrcade, yeah. I know, it's kind of disappointing. It would have been a cool homecoming for him of sorts. Maybe he was recovering from falling into that pumpkin pie on, last week or something. I don't know.
That could have been.
I don't know. The next thing was the biggest surprise of the night, and probably the best thing. I mean, not necessarily match quality wise, although it wasn't bad. But it was the biggest thing of the night for sure. Got the one of the biggest pops. Baron Corbin came out. No, that's not where the pop came from.
They totally blew the roof off for Baron Corbin.
Yeah, Baron effing Corbin. But no, he came to the ring, and he said, well, I was supposed to wrestle Braun Strowman tonight, but he's not here. I crushed his elbow on Raw, so I don't have an opponent, but, I'm a fighter. I'll take on anybody in the back, anybody at all. Just come on out. And I was expecting, I was hoping for somebody good, because usually the thing is when they have to replace people, I guess the rule of thumb is always when you advertise a match and you have to replace somebody in that match, they always try to replace with somebody of equal or greater value. So off the top of my head, I couldn't think of anybody who I wanted to see, as good, as much as Braun Strowman. But then the stuff started going crazy on the screen, and it was freaking the return of Bray Wyatt. The roof blew off.
One of the biggest pops. Yeah, definitely one of the biggest pops of the night. Nobody was expecting Bray Wyatt. I don't remember hearing anything about Wyatt working house shows even during this time, because we haven't seen him in couple of months. So
Yeah, right. It was great. I was not expecting it. Nobody was expecting it. Nobody would have called that in a million years, but it was great.
uh,
You watched Raw. He wasn't on Raw, was he?
no,
Okay, I didn't think he was.
he was backstage, but I heard he was backstage, but
Yeah, so
yeah,
did I.
He didn't appear.
Right. Well, I tweeted while I was at the show, I tweeted out pictures and I said, he's back. Everybody, I took a picture of him and during his entrance and everything. 35 likes, 10 retweets, one comment. So it's it was good. I got good responses on that one. So and I got quite a few on Instagram as well, but more so on Twitter, I believe.
Yeah, I only did Insta. I was only uploading photos to Instagram, and I have it to where it'll post on Facebook as well. And like every picture I uploaded, I got like an instant like or some sort of reaction to it. So that was really cool. I was not expecting that.
My Instagram was blown the hell up.
Oh yeah.
Twitter was a little bit. Twitter mostly blew up for the, like I said, he's back with about Bray Wyatt, and people were super happy about it. But my Instagram just blew the F up. It was crazy. This match, I will say the one thing about this night was it was a match of roll-up wins. Like, just in matches that there probably should have been a freaking, like a finishing move or something. There was a lot of, like, the Revival B-Team match, I believe, ended with a roll-up.
I believe so, yeah.
The women's tag ended with a finish, submission.
Yep.
Yeah, the tag title match ended with a brogue kick into a pin. But this was flippin' weird. Bray Wyatt won the match with a random roll-up on Baron Corbin. I was like, what? Like, okay, like even you were saying, you were like, was that the finish? I'm like, I guess so. He won. But then Baron Corbin gets pissed. He gets out of the ring. He grabs the mic. He's like, well, I'm the acting general manager, and I'm saying this match will restart as a no disqualification match, which, of course. And then they bring out Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre, because at first he's like, come on out, boys. And I'm like, who the hell is going to come out? And then I'm like, oh, them. So they come out. They surround the ring, all three of them. They jump in and start beating the crap out of Bray Wyatt. And this takes forever, by the way. So I'm thinking somebody's going to come out. Well, people did eventually.
They surrounded the ring like you'd think they were the Shield or something.
Yeah,
they did this.
Well, they're the new Dogs of War. Discount Dogs of War. That's what we can call them. But yeah, they surround the ring. They get in. They beat the hell out of Bray Wyatt. This is going on for a while. I'm like, so is somebody going to come out and save him? And you and I were thinking, well, maybe Luke Harper's healed quicker than we thought. Maybe it'll be him and Eric Rowan.
Oh, Rowan's the one that's hurt.
Oh, I thought it was Luke. Well,
no.
Whatever. Well, either way, I can't even keep them straight anymore because both of them get hurt so damn much. Like, usually Rowan is the one that gets hurt. However, both of them have been hurt multiple times. So this is just crazy. Either way, it was not them. It was flipping Finn Balor and damn, who was it? Elias. The most like motley crew. They come out. I know I've used that term a couple times now, but it bears repeating. They got beat up too. So, like, what the hell? But Bray Wyatt eventually fights back, and the other four guys just effing leave. Like, I don't know,
why?
Like, why?
Well, what did happen? Well, McIntyre and Ziggler left in the middle of it.
Yeah.
If they had enough for the night, and then...
Yeah, they just took off, leaving stuff to go down.
Elias and Balor stayed for the entire...
Yeah, and then they eventually left. I guess they were... Even though they just got punked out, they were still waiting around for I guess another beating. But Bray Wyatt ended up winning with Sister Abigail and getting the win on Baron Corbin again. Was there a cane involved in this? I want to say there was.
Um,
I can't remember.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, I forget too. But
I just remember that like when that happened, Corbin took a coup de grace from Balor, and then Wyatt hit him with Sister Abigail.
yeah. But yeah, that was it. He wins. There for a while, like Bray Wyatt was getting kind of stale, and people weren't really responding as well to him. He comes back, it's like welcomed back like a god. Like
Oh yeah.
it was great, and people on Twitter were just going nuts. They're like, "Oh man, I missed him so much," and I'm like, "Really?" Because you guys gave him no response last time he was around. Like nobody cared. And I was seeing so much crap about the deleters of worlds all over Facebook and Twitter and Instagram. So maybe they just didn't like that tag team, but a lot of people were saying they were just tired of Bray Wyatt as a whole.
Maybe they're tired of the way he was booked. Like before they paired him up with Matt Hardy, it was pretty typical. He'd go out there and lose every single time he talked up a good game, but they hardly ever gave him a win.
Yeah, like when you say I'm gonna kick your ass like 5 times, and all 5 times you get your ass kicked, nobody cares after a while. It's nobody cares. So I don't know. I didn't respond well to him either. I guess I wasn't super into the deleters of worlds. Um, I don't know. I'm one of those people, I guess.
It's kind of funny that Finn Balor was one of the guys that came out to help Wyatt after after they had a feud last year. It wasn't very memorable, but
Well, they're good guys now, so they gotta
yep,
good guys gotta stick together. Baby faces are stupid. I'm just gonna say that now. They're just like they're dumb. They're booked dumb.
hmm
But next we get to a really good match. It's just frustrating the way that and you and I were talking about this during the match while it was going on. It was Charlotte versus Asuka. Both women came out to pretty good responses, especially, I mean, Charlotte got a good response, but I think Asuka, the crowd went crazy for her. Like, she's freaking over, dude. She's so over. And WWE is just like, no, she's Japanese. She can't cut a promo. Like, I don't know. I don't get it. But either way, she comes out. She's colorful. She's charismatic. Sure, she can't cut an awesome promo, but she's great in the ring. Just like everything else other than cutting a promo. Same thing with Shinsuke, but no. And we'll get to Shinsuke later.
I mean, neither could Roman Reigns or Brock Lesnar, but
Yeah. Or Roman was serviceable. Well, he didn't have an accent, so he was fine. Brock has Paul Heyman, so I don't know. But either way, these two had a fine match. It was pretty good. I don't know if it was as good as their WrestleMania match, but it was good. They didn't.
probably wasn't. There's a lot more build behind the WrestleMania match. This was just a special attraction for everybody in attendance, which I was really happy to see.
Same. Yeah.
The match, I was excited for once I heard it was going to happen. And, I think it would have been better off if they didn't announce this match. Because Charlotte came and said, she's going to come out here and take a beating like Ronda Rousey.
Yeah, and then it's Asuka.
If we hadn't have known that it was going to be her and Asuka, and then Asuka's music would have hit, oh, man, could you imagine the reaction?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it's even bigger than the one she got. And she got a pretty big pop when her music hit. But, yeah, this is the one thing I like about her and Shinsuke's music. Like, it has a good build at the beginning of it. I used to like Shinsuke's babyface one better, and I get, they don't want the same reaction when he's a heel, but whatever. Either way, these two had a great match. Asuka tapped again, I believe, didn't she? Or did she get pinned?
She got pinned, but
She got pinned? Okay.
it was hard to tell just the angle that they were at and where we were sitting, like, at least for me, it was hard to tell like who was getting pinned.
Yeah, I can't even remember the finish of the match. I know it was a good match. That's all I know, but I don't remember the finish per se. Charlotte gets the win. The two hug, and then they pose together on the ropes. I thought for sure Charlotte was going to nail her, but she did not.
Which I was glad she didn't.
Yeah, I mean, it was a nice feel-good moment, I guess.
I
Both
mean,
women.
there's a lot of respect between those two, you can tell. And,
Right, yeah. I just want Asuka to do something. I want to see her as women's champ eventually when, Becky's done with it. I don't, same thing with Shinsuke. I don't see that ever happening, unfortunately. But, yeah, both these women are beautiful on TV, even more so in person.
oh, yeah.
It was nice. Second time I got to see these two wrestle in person, so that was cool.
First time I've got to see either one of them. It's the second time I've seen Charlotte live. The first time was SmackDown last year when you and I went to, but
Right.
There weren't any women's matches that night, amazingly enough. So first time I got to see her wrestle. First time I got to see Asuka in person doing anything. So that was great.
Yep. It was good. It was I thoroughly enjoyed that match, which, wasn't even booked originally, so either one, her or Becky, were good choices. But then we go to Miz TV. This one was on the network. His guests were Rey Mysterio and Shinsuke Nakamura, who came out dressed like a stupid Power Ranger again. That was great. He was wearing his blue getup that he wore at Survivor Series. Rey, I don't... Look, within a period of 3 days in WWE, we saw two people get their heads put in chairs, and one person had it stomped on, the other person had it thrown into the guardrail, or not guardrail, the ring post. One of them came out on Raw perfectly fine, no raspy voice, no neck brace, wrestled a match, was fine. The other one came out days later, like almost a week later, I'm sorry, 4 days later, in an effing neck brace. That being Rey. Rey Mysterio came out in an effing neck brace, which I am fine with. He's selling it. Ronda blew me away. I'm like, really? Like, what was the point of that beating? I just didn't sell it.
And Ronda, it was the very next night.
Yeah, one night later, after taking that beating that they tried to put over as this big beating, and then she no-sells the crap out of it.
I mean, you could see the welts where she took those shots from the kendo stick, but
yeah,
I mean, other than that, she acted like everything was fine and went out there and, like you said, had a match.
Should have been selling it.
Yeah, Ray's old school. He's a pro. I mean, he's gonna.
She came out. She came out like that, goes home and cries over her dead goat. Like, says, "I don't know how much longer I can do this. I'm spending too much time away from my family." Like, no crap, Sherlock. You knew what was going to happen going into this career field. Don't act coy. Like, just, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna get on somebody for losing it over the death of a pet. I've been there too many times.
I get it, but god damn. And she's like, well, if I was here or something, but like, nothing would have been different. What about your husband? What the hell is he doing? Like, is he useless? Or is he with you on the road? What's going on?
I know he's been in the crowd a couple of times, like during some of her pay-per-view matches. I don't know if he's been with her overall or not.
I don't know. It's like, was he training for his non-existent MMA career? I don't know. But either way, getting this segment, Miz tries to... first of all, my favorite thing before he brought the guys out was this was the day before the big rivalry game between Cincinnati Bengals and the Cleveland Browns. And
The Miz called it.
yeah, the Miz is obviously from Cleveland, and he is a Browns fan, as am I. We were in Cincinnati, and the crowd's chanting for him, saying Miz is awesome, and he turns it around, crapping on the Bengals, saying the Browns are going to beat him, and then he does a lap around, bows at the crowd. It was great. And
yeah, he said, like, oh, it's great to be here in Cincinnati, Ohio, especially when the Cleveland Browns beat the Cincinnati Bengals, and that got some mixed results there. I know you cheered.
oh yeah, he is a fortune teller, man, because that was airing the next day on the network after the Bengals lost to the Browns. So it was great. And they lost big. But that's neither here nor there. Miz starts crap between the two of them. He gets mad at Ray for telling him in Spanish, when my hand goes up, your mouth goes shut. They get into it, and then Shinsuke attacks him, and they start their match now. And yeah,
Title was on the line here.
It was. U.S. title was on the line, yeah, and it looked like it was going to finish quickly, but it did not. Eventually, Miz interferes, and they throw the match out, and Rusev comes out, and instead of having 2 one-on-one matches, they just make it a tag team match, playa. Rusev is hardcore baby face here. Well, first...
Lana was with him, and she's the one that really challenged everybody, and boy, yeah,
who could forget Lana?
Looking amazing as usual. And
oh, yeah, especially because we got a behind-the-back view of her, so damn. But the heels took a powder, and Lana called them out and said they're cowards, come on back, and they made a tag team match out of it, because apparently Lana has that authority to make house show tag team matches. In the end, Rusev, I believe... Did Rusev get the pin?
Yes, he did.
Okay, that's what I thought. He gets the pin on Les Miz, I believe. And then Ray jumps into his arms like a baby. And it was nice. They celebrated together, holding each other's hands up, all that good stuff. But then we move on to the construction of the cage, because the cages in WWE are different now. They can be constructed piece by piece. It was funny seeing the thing put up. But yeah, so that meant...
I thought...
Oh, go ahead.
I thought they would have it hanging above the ring, like, already, because... the cage matches were advertised, and I didn't see anything. I'm like, okay, are they scrapping the cage matches for something else? But no, they went out there and constructed it, which kind of surprised me.
Yeah, I figured they were going to, when I didn't see it hanging above the ring, I'm like, oh, so they got to piece it together. Okay. And I forgot that, WWE's changed their cages in recent years, not to be, the big monstrosities that they used to be. But they are still, good size. We had back-to-back cage matches. The first one, Samoa Joe comes out, and then AJ Styles. AJ got one of the 3 biggest pops of the damn night. I'd say his was the loudest, other than Dean Ambrose.
Ambrose, yeah.
Yeah, I would say tiers of pops. It was Dean Ambrose, AJ Styles, Bray Wyatt, and then Asuka. Probably in that order. But AJ comes out. Him and Joe have a fairly serviceable cage match. It was pretty good. It was the first cage match I've ever seen live, so that was awesome.
Yeah.
And AJ got the flippin' win with a calf crusher. Just put it in. Joe fought for like a little bit, and then he said F it, and he tapped out.
I think that when there were when he had him in there, he tried to get to the ropes, but there's no break in a cage match, isn't there?
Yeah, no. Yeah, because it's no disqualification. What are you going to do if he doesn't break? DQ him? I don't know. But he tapped out again with the calf crusher. So that was that. At the end, AJ climbed the cage and celebrated for everybody to see. And then we get to the main event. It was the Intercontinental title match. Seth Rollins came out. I was wearing my Burnt It Down shirt. You were wearing your brand new Dean Ambrose t-shirt.
The Return to Society.
Yeah, that one. It was It was feuding shirts, but I mean, in all honesty, I was hoping that Dean would win. Spoiler.
And Seth was wearing the same one you were wearing. So that was
Yes, brand new one. Yep. It was the one he split in half for Survivor Series. But yeah, I got it from, well, my wife got it for me from Hot Topic for my birthday, so I have a good wife. Yeah, they had their match. I popped for both men. Dean took a while getting into the cage, and because of that, they actually started brawling outside the cage first, worked their way back in.
the funniest thing about that when they were brawling outside the cage. Both Greg Hamilton and Caleb Braxton were ringside for this. Like they were running, like when Seth and Dean were chasing each other around the cage, like they were both, those two were running out of the way to get out of their way. That was funny as hell.
Oh yeah, that was hilarious. It was a really good cage match. Dean's selling was comical. It's the only complaint I had about the match. And Dean didn't flip and win, which I don't know. I was 50-50 because I was like, well,
Yeah,
when I found out they weren't showing it on the network, I was like, okay, he might not win. But I don't know. I was holding out hope. He did not win. There were a couple cool spots in the match. One where Dean took a superplex off of the cage and then got picked up and dropped in a Falcon Arrow. I'm sure that felt awesome on his hips.
oh yeah,
And then at the end of the match, it ends with Dean's trying to go out the door. Seth climbs up the wall, and he kicks the cage door into Dean's face, closes it, then he climbs out. He wins the match. So first match ends through tap out. This match ends with escape.
and this, Ambrose was the heel in this match, but the crowd, I'd say it was 75-25 Ambrose. Not a big surprise given that we were in Cincinnati. That's where he's from.
Right. Yeah, I kind of figured it was going to be that way. They were even selling T-shirts that it was the DA logo in orange, and across it said Cincinnati. So that was cool.
Yeah, that was
They were selling.
thought about getting that one, but I didn't.
Yeah, it was an awesome shirt. There were the three special ones I was thinking about getting, but I didn't get any because I already spent enough money on that show between parking and whatnot. But there was the shirt you got with the event poster on the front, the initial one that had Braun Strowman on it, even though he wasn't there.
And Bobby Lashley for some reason.
Yeah. And then the back said, I was there in the Starrcade font. And then there was another one that was more old school. It was kind of the old Starrcade logo, but it was like yellow, black, and white. And the back says, I was there in the old school Starrcade font. I loved both of those. And then there was the, Dean Ambrose Cincinnati one that was pretty sweet. That was Starrcade. Good show. Good show, old Bean.
Very good show, yes.
It was the first house show I've ever been to. WWE tried their experiment of having matches or, recording part of it and having some of the stuff on the network. I don't know if it was a success. I don't know if anybody cared, but it was what it was. But we went really long on this one, but I hope if, some of you got to really feel the Starrcade. We don't always talk negatively about WWE. This was, a good experience. Yeah, again, if you were there, comment down below and let us know your experiences. We'd love to see pictures, videos, whatever you guys got. Hit us up on social media, and don't forget to subscribe and tick the little bell down below. And we will be very happy, and thank you all very much. Thank you for joining me, Kyle.
Yep, not a problem.
And we will holler at you all later. Peace out. Thanks for watching this YouTube-exclusive video for the Podcast Wrestling Society. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons if you're picking up what we're throwing down. And of course, we always welcome feedback in the comments section down below. And if you want to keep up with the weekly podcast that drops every Wednesday, links to the show page are in the description down below, along with our social media handles and our associates pages. Come on and join the society. Thanks for watching this YouTube-exclusive video for the Podcast Wrestling Society. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons if you're picking up what we're throwing down. And of course, we always welcome feedback in the comments section down below. And if you want to keep up with the weekly podcast that drops every Wednesday, links to the show page are in the description down below, along with our social media handles and our associates pages. Come on and join the society.